Grievance against the NFL over using his old helmet and showed back up at the Raiders facility today. John Gruden said he expects Brown to be ready for the season opener, but Brown still isn't done fighting over his helmet, looking to exploit a loophole in the NFL's ruling that would allow him to use the same type of helmet as long as it is less than 10 years old. Tweeting, quote, "I'm looking for a Shut Air Advantage adult large helmet that was manufactured in 2010 or after. In exchange, I will trade a signed, practice-worn Raiders helmet. Even if he gets the helmet, he still won't be able to practice because of the frostbite on his feet," something he addressed today.
Well, we're working with the NFL in regards to the helmet, and I'll make sure I put on the right equipment-approved helmet and be ready to go. Oh, well, I'm extremely grateful to be here. We're dealing with a lot of adversity. It's on up and up on things, so I'm excited to be back and see my teammates and get in the groove of things. I'm battling with a foot injury. You know, I see my face all over the news, all the talk, but these guys are doing a good job with supporting me. It's grateful to hear them come out about it, and I'm excited here to just do my job.
All right, Eric Mangini and Jeff Fisher yesterday both indicated that maybe this helmet thing is just a distraction. Do you think AB really cares about this helmet deal?
Absolutely. I totally do. AB needs to put me on retainer as much as I'm defending him up there, too. God dang.
You're going full Johnny
I'm going
Cochran.
full AB. Never go full AB, but I am. Old adage, you know, if you believe something, put your money where your mouth is, right? He hired a lawyer. He went down this rabbit hole. He put his money where his mouth is because he actually believes it. And I told you the two issues. One is the vision bar of the new helmets. Some receivers have complained that, hey, when you turn around in a snap situation, sometimes you can't see the ball for that split second. That matters to a receiver, obviously, of his caliber. But also, the NFL lending itself and leaning into this rule that on its surface is a crock. And AB is like, look, let me highlight that in service of me keeping my own helmet. 2012, NFL's getting sued for head issues from all the players. We get it. 2014, they formed an alliance. NFL, NFLPA, we are the world. We're going to work on this together. 2016, you settle. All of a sudden, 2017, 18, hey, we're going to change these helmets. Guess what? You've been knowing this for about 3, 4, 5 years. And we're going to give you a transitional year. If you like your helmet, we'll let you stay in harm's way. Stay in the hazard zone for a year. If it was that damn hazardous, why are you going to let me have a year of potential brain injury? Huh? So AB's sitting there, maybe not articulating this to the fullest, but that's why I'm on retainer. And then he's saying, wait a minute. I have to now give up this helmet that I've only had one head issue, one concussion, and that was an illegal hit from my teammate, Vontaze Burfict. Can y'all stop with this? And he's calling BS on it. So, yeah, he cares for many reasons, and I'm sorry that people not getting this, but once again, they're too lazy to go into those details.
Look, I think he cares about it to a point, but I don't think it should have been the issue that it's been. He was informed in the offseason that the helmet was going to be a deal. This should have been addressed back in March, in April. Equipment Man can get any helmet that you want. He could have gone to the manufacturer and had them make a special helmet that would fit all of the criteria that he wanted so he could see and all those other things when it came to the face mask. My issue with AB is when they bring him in and pay him the money that they paid him, they expect him to not only be the best player, they wanted him to have a level of leadership and be the worker. So he can talk about being a great worker and doing all those things on the field. But his behavior, it makes me worried because the culture that they're creating in Oakland, to me, is divided. When the draft, all character guys. Guys from big programs, guys that love ball, all that other stuff. Free agency, Vontaze Burfict. They trade for AB. So now in the locker room, I don't know what they have. And when the moment of crisis happens, I don't know who is going to win out. The character guys, the young guys, or the older guys who've been known to splinter and have a level of dysfunction that follows them.
And Marcellus, I understand what you're saying about the fact that he put his money where his mouth is and he went and hired a lawyer. But typically when you hire a lawyer, it's so that that guy can go do the job. You don't have to leave your job in order to go fight that case. But he hired the lawyer and then he left camp. And look, it took a lot of attention off of his feet, and I'm sure that's an embarrassing situation. In terms of him in the locker room and him being a leader, they were hoping for leadership from his work ethic, from that part of it. But there's other elements that everybody knows AB has created some challenges in the past. But when you have a player of his ability, you're willing to deal with the 6 days of pain to get to the one day where he can be so special and change a lot of people's fortunes. In terms of where this locker room's going, it is going to be mixed, and it'll probably be mixed short term, but John has done a good job in the past with challenging characters and getting the most out of them. So I think he'll be able to navigate through that.
The only thing I would say here, though, we've seen John go hardcore at Keyshawn Johnson. He's going pamper route with AB. And part of that is just by contract. They're on the hook for $30 million over the next 2 years. He stuck his neck out. He has to try to make the best of this. Do I think AB cares at all about this helmet? Not really. Because if he did, he would have handled it, like Bucky said, in February, March, April. This is a distraction. You ever get in an argument with your woman or whatever, and she's caught you doing something you ain't supposed to do, and the next thing you know, you say, remember when you charged up all that stuff, and I had to take a loan from mama and them to blah, 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 and you created a distraction. No, we're going to talk about what you did.
Yeah.
That's what AB's did. AB burned up his feet, couldn't report, and so now he's got everybody talking about this helmet thing, and we're not talking about this dude burned up his feet and may have jeopardized his whole career. If I had done something that stupid, I would certainly create a distraction for somebody else, something to talk about, because it's embarrassing.
Coincidence, not correlation. Coincidence.
Darnell, did we miss anything?
Yeah, so Coach Gruden has been getting a lot of praise on social media over how he's handled all the noise around Antonio Brown. And after their win over the Rams a few days ago, he was asked about the helmet controversy, and Coach Gruden responded saying the helmet thing is a personal matter to him. He has a strong feeling about what he's wearing on his head, and we're supporting him. So I want to ask you guys, do you like how Gruden's handled this situation?
I obviously don't. I think they're pampering him.
I love it. One, what's the alternative? I mean, just pour salt all on them and then say, oh, welcome back to him. Huh? No. As a coach, you got to have multiple personalities. You got to give the complexion that, look, I may lose some of my selfish desires for a greater good, which is the team's win. You could dog curse them when you're in your private home and wherever you are in closed doors. But you need to make sure this guy feels welcome until you can at least get your hands around him and understand who he is.
Yeah, you just got to make this work until you get to those games. And that's what he's doing. He's going to make the best of it until he can get to Sunday.
Let me ask you something.
And hope for that upside.
What would Belichick do?
Oh, look, different families have different rules and different ways of doing things. Yeah. And that family, they operate there. What's that?
Would he spare the rod?
You probably wouldn't get to the table. You wouldn't be part of the family.
You wouldn't be in Rod's reach.
Yeah. I understand why he's coming out trying to support his player, but I do want it, because at some point he's going to have to take a hard line stance. If not, it's only going to escalate and you can have more problems with AB.
All right, coming up, if you haven't heard the incredible story of Brian Banks, you need to. He joins the show to talk about his life and the movie it inspired. Nerds!